You know, we need an education expert. Believe it or not, we've got one. It's Erika joining me this morning here in New York City. We're going to need legislation to abolish this department. It's got to be. Do you think it'll ever happen?
I do think it'll happen. But in the meantime, there's a lot that Linda and her incredible staff at the Department of Education are already working on in response to the school choice executive order, for example, taking the grant monies that are already allocated to the department and pushing that down to the states with more flexibility and encouragement for the states to give those monies to parents and allow parent-directed funding of a lot of these programs when it comes to Title I, IDEA, et cetera. The Congress did not approve all these DEI programs that have already been eliminated.
Right.
So the department does have some flexibility on how this money is spent and allocated to the states.
But would they have to send the money to all the states, not just red states which see education the way you see education?
Of course. And blue states are going to have to be accountable to their voters for how they are allocating those funds. We're seeing now migration for school choice, Stuart, because places like Florida, a family can get $9,000 per student for private school. If they live on the border in Georgia, why wouldn't they move a few miles south and get that money and allow their kids to go to private school? I think we're going to see much more of that as school choice expands in the states.
Hold on a second. If I live in Florida and I've got young children in a public school, you can give your state, Florida, will give me $9,000 per student per year to put them in a private school.
Yes.
Really?
And Florida's not the only one. We have 13 states now that have adopted universal school choice, many others that have some form of school choice similar. Texas is about to pass the largest school choice program in the country with over $1 billion with President Trump's support. So he's already making a difference in expanding school choice in the states. Now it's time to dismantle the department piece by piece, just like he promised the American people he would do.
Is it popular in Florida? I mean, $9,000 per student?
We had over 500,000 students participate this year, and nearly 400,000 have already applied for the fall. And we're only in March. So, yes, I think it's incredibly popular. The only reason it hasn't blown up even more, one, because parents don't know about it. Not all parents know that it's available. It's a relatively new program. Sure. And two, we need more private schools to open and expand. They have long waiting lists. So we are seeing that equilibrium start to take place and those free market forces come in. As parents have that money to spend, we're going to see more and more schools open up.
Okay, so the private school gets the $9,000. Does the public school lose the $9,000?
They do. It's the same $9,000 for each student, and it was the money that would have otherwise gone to the public school that's now following the student to wherever their parent chooses.
I'm going to change the subject, and still on education. The president wants the Small Business Administration to handle student loans. The student loan situation is a total mess. I believe 1 in 5 student loan borrowers are 90 days or more past due. 1 in 5. Well, how would the Small Business Administration fix that?
Well, the Small Business Administration, I was actually very intrigued by this idea. They already oversee a loan portfolio for small business loans that actually maybe that structure could be applied to student loans to improve it. We want to see more private lenders come into the space. And SBA loans are partially backed by the government, allows more flexibility for those private lenders to give better, more flexible terms. But they are tied to some purpose, some performance, and we want to see that in the student loan portfolio as well. So I like the idea. I think it's something that should be explored. But really, ultimately, we need the private sector involved in the student loans. The government cannot be the only lender of student loans in this country. It's actually contributed so much to the inflation in college-going rates. So we've got to fix it. The Department of Education is not the place to do it. It could be Treasury. It could be SBI. I like the idea.
Yeah, but you've opened my eyes on schooling in Florida. I did not know that.
And 13 other states and growing.
I didn't know that either. Erika, thank you very much for being with us. It was a real pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.